This is a new Bastion, and it's absolutely ridiculous. This is his ultimate, and it's like 3 kills. It's so good. Like, what the hell is this? All right, guys, let's talk about the abilities. So, configuration Recon. Primary fire, it's got no spread. It's got a couple of less ammunition than on live. Yeah, it's pretty much the same. Roll passive, you move quicker as well, which really does help. The A36 tactical grenade, now this bounces off walls, and if you fire it into the ground, it'll explode, and if you fire it into a player, it'll stick to them and explode. Configuration assault, this replaces sentry mode, and you turn into a tank, and you can just keep firing until the cooldown goes away. It's ridiculous. You can also fire the A36 tactical grenade while you're in assault mode, which is pretty good. And you can also use the A36 tactical grenade to access high ground. You can do rocket jumps, and of course you can do this both in Recon and in assault mode. It is so good. All right, let's talk about the ultimate. Now, this ultimate is really good. It fires really fast. Now, remember, this is alpha. Things might change, you know, when it comes to beta and live. But yeah, 3 projectiles drop down. Think of it like a Doomfist ultimate. It can also kill you, so be very careful of that. It will cause self-damage, and you can fire it inside buildings, which is really, really funky. So I'm going to show you guys 2 games. The first game is going to show you the power of this Bastion with a Mercy. It's so disgusting, and just the overall power of this hero. Anyway, I mean, look at that. A beautiful kill with the grenade straight away. The damage, look at the damage output, frontline deleted. It's disgusting. Kind of the way Bastion works is when you've got assault mode available, so that's when you go into the big minigun tank turret mode, that's where your power is. You'll notice that in the moment-to-moment gameplay between that, I'm just kind of like doing this is actually a great example. Look at the damage at range. Okay, maybe I could have killed him, but he did start to get healed. Maybe if my grenade went in there, it might have killed him. It probably wouldn't have, though, because Moira was there healing him. So, yeah, in between these moments of assault mode, that's where you don't really have much power. But when you use assault mode, if you use it at the right time, the value is off the charts, because it is very much like original Bastion. I mean, look at the damage output there. Nearly killed that target. The damage into the Orisa is ungodly and deletes from the game. My Mercy, incredible player, giving me tons of like damage boost when I need it, which is great. It's just like, look at the damage. It's insane. Anyway, let me just go over some of the abilities while you guys watch this gameplay footage in the background. So, configuration assault. Now, this used to be sentry mode, but now it is configuration assault because you can move. It's kind of like the old tank mode and the sentry mode put together into one. Now, the thing with this is, though, Bastion moves 35% slower when he does this. Remember, you've got the DPS passive, so you move faster anyway. However, to counter the effectiveness of assault mode, you will move slower when you use it. This is actually a really interesting use of the ult here. So I'm trying to get it inside, and then I panic because I seen the dragon. I was like, oh my god, no, I need to just get out of here and just fire it. And somehow I survived. I think it maybe missed me, because I would have died if that hit me head on. This also is just going to show you the disgusting damage potential of this mode. Like, you basically do not want to push into a Bastion when it's using assault mode, because it is just going to repel that push unless you've got some way of dealing with it. Now, in this fight, I am actually getting quite a bit of work done with my primary fire, but as soon as I go into sentry mode, look how fast they die. Or assault mode, I should say. You literally, you just delete them from the game. It's so insane. Anyway, going back to assault mode, you have a 6-second duration on this and a 12-second cooldown. So you get 6 seconds of just killing everyone and 12 seconds to think about what you've just done. It's got infinite ammo as well, and it doesn't overheat, so you can just keep firing. Like, there's no benefit to not fire, just keep firing, unless obviously it's into a deflecting Genji or Doomfist using his block, or even like a Sigma using Suck or something. Weapon spread is now a constant 2 degrees and no longer becomes more accurate as you fire, so it is as it is. There's no spread change, it's just the same as you're firing, and the damage has been reduced from 5/15 to 12. Now, these notes might be a little bit confusing, because you're probably thinking, well, what's the damage reduction here? What I've done is I've combined the alpha patch notes with the alpha hotfixes, and so it gives us a good idea. But remember, this is all work in progress. These figures will probably change, but the heroes will definitely play the same way they do, because these reworks are quite fundamental. You will notice as well that, well, self-repair is completely gone. Like, totally removed from the game.
Yeah, it's probably a little too easy.
Actually, I think I'm about to... Yeah, watch this, watch this.
It's really hard to see the marker as well.
Yeah. Sorry, low. Sorry, dead. It's just totally OP, this Bastion. I sound very excited as I was killing everyone. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, self-repair is removed. The tactical grenade now. This is that thing there. Which the visuals on this they look crap. They look absolutely crap. It looks like something from a workshop. Now, they did say, and you can see the watermark on the screen, not final visuals, but I don't know. This just feels like a workshop ability, but it also feels like this is the way Overwatch 2 is going. It makes things cleaner to understand. Like, look at the UI. It's cleaner. Like, the analogy I've been given about the UI is this UI feels like a modern sports car that maybe is kind of not very memorable. But the old UI feels like an old sports car, which looks fun but isn't as good as the modern one. You get what I'm saying? That's kind of the way I rationalize it in my head. So yeah, the tactical grenade maybe doesn't look the best, but it'll probably stay that way. So what this does is it will bounce off walls. It will not bounce off the floor though. It will stick to the floor, then explode, and it will stick to players, then explode. But it will bounce once off a wall, so you can fire it around walls if you're kind of cheeky with it. And it does up to 130 damage. It depends where you are in the blast radius. So if it's attached to you and blows up, it's going to do 130 damage, which is quite good. You think of most of the DPS heroes at 200 health and below. Well, a couple of primary fire shots, then you fire the grenade into them. It's probably going to kill them. So it is quite good. And remember, you can fire the grenade while you're in assault mode, which is just disgusting. See, like here, this is again showing you the power of this assault mode. Yeah, my team are doing great. My Echo was destroying them as well. But when you're in assault mode, you feel incredibly powerful, and you are incredibly powerful. Now, there is something to be said here that the enemy team might not actually be countering me in any way. They don't have a D.Va who is really, really good against the Bastion, because what the D.Va would do is every time you see the Bastion go into assault mode, you literally defense matrix him, and that's it. He does nothing, because in between assault mode usage, he's not really doing anything. Oh, I got a bit scared of McCree there. He's gonna kill me. Oh, sorry, Cassidy. I'm always gonna say that his name is bloody Cassidy. I'm sorry, Cassidy. Cassidy. I need to say it hundreds of times to myself to get it into my head. Oh my god. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, look. Now I'm relatively weaker, and I think I'm about to get killed because I'm out of my assault mode. You're not in assault mode. You're not going to do the damage, which is, yeah, okay. That's the offset. You can't have a hero which is just doing incredible amounts of damage all the time, which would be stupid. Now the ultimate. Now this is where it gets interesting for Bastion, because the ultimate. So you can fire 3 artillery shells, but you don't have to. You could just fire 1 if you wanted to, and there is some scenarios where you might do that. You might not want to fire them into, I don't know, a deflecting Genji who's just going to deflect them all. You don't want that, right? Or you could do like this, where I'm just going to saturate the point, not really looking for any targets there. I just wanted to get it off quick because I knew this was potentially going to be the last fight and we're going to need to do something, so I just rained them all down on the enemy. The targeting is very similar to the way Doomfist's ult works. In fact, it's basically identical. They've basically took the Doomfist ultimate tech and give it to Bastion, but you can fire 3 times with it. The projectiles come straight down from above. They're not arced in or anything like that. They come directly down from above. So if you do get this Bastion using his ultimate on you, again, D.Va, like I said, is a great example of a counter to this Bastion. You would just defense matrix in the sky and you would eat all of the projectiles, and nothing. Bastion's ult is rendered. It's just completely negated. It's the same with his assault mode. And from what I can see, the hardest counter right now to this Bastion is straight up a D.Va. And that goes into the whole debate of the way the meta works in Overwatch 2, based off what we've played now, which is very much like the tanks have got all the power. So if the tanks are... If it's the right tank pick against the enemy team comp, then that team has a very major advantage. This team... They're playing a Zarya into me. Now, Zarya, I mean, look how quickly I killed her. My Mercy knows. I mean, look at the damage. It's insane. My Mercy knows that if she damage boosts me, I'm going to get tons and tons of damage done. The Zarya, if she... I mean, I can just burn through her bubbles. I literally don't care about her bubbles. She has no way, really, of stopping me doing damage. Okay, I'm charging her up, but I'm still outputting tons of damage. So it's a very interesting dynamic that we've got with this Overwatch 2 sort of meta that's developing, based all around the tanks. But this Bastion is super, super good. Now, in this video, what I'm going to do... As soon as this match finishes, we're going to jump into another game. I think we've got a little bit left on this match, so we'll just watch this through, then we'll jump into another game, because the other game is with professional players. And I think, like, again, one of the things that I've been saying a lot in these alpha videos is, if I can get tons of value from a hero against the best players on the planet, maybe it's a bit too good. So I missed all my shots there, it looks like. Yeah, not a great use of the ultimate there. Kind of got panicked and just fired it off. But again, it doesn't matter. Look, I'm in assault mode, damage boosted. Just look at the damage. Look at it. It's just disgusting. But yeah, going back to the whole thing about against better players. Winnable. Yeah, there isn't... I mean, look at my damage. Like 39... What have I got there? 39 limbs, and I don't even know what the damage is. But you're Bastion. You're going to have loads of damage.
Nice.
Just because the enemy team are not doing anything to deal with me. Like, they're just letting me do what I like.
That was awesome, guys.
Yeah, so what do I end up with? 39 eliminations, which is decent, and... now, I can show you the play of the game, but I can't show you the end screen. you know, where the stats come up. Just because it's a work in progress. But to be honest, guys, you're not missing anything. It looks exactly the same. It's because it hasn't been changed. And I think Blizzard are worried that people might go, oh, well, look at this. The UI just looks the same. You haven't even bothered to change it when they are going to change it. They just haven't in this alpha. I mean, it might be changed for beta. I don't know.
It's just obscene.
It is just obscene, as I said there. Right, this is the game. So let's get on to this. This is with pro players. You guys will probably be able to identify the pro players. There are quite a few in this game. So we're back on Li Xiang again. Now, the colours are a bit weird on this. This is my fault. I had HDR turned on, which doesn't play well with shadow play when you record. In the game, looks great, but the recordings look weird. It kind of saturates the colours a bit. But, yeah, look at that tracer. Look at that. Absolutely annihilated that tracer. I mean, look at the enemy team. Glister is one of the DPS in the enemy team. I've got Who Are You on my team as Doomfist. It's just insane. I think Psycho as well is a pro. Hawk is as well. Pro tank player. My support, my Lucio's a pro. Like, so this is going to show you, like, hopefully a fairly high level, or as high level as it can be, quick play game with a bunch of pros. Now, they might not be taking it seriously, but it doesn't matter. Whatever. We're going to commentate on it. So, yeah, I mean, look at the nade. Look at that nade, the damage. They've got a Reaper now. So this Reaper, I'm worried about. And look at that. Literally 1 HP. Now, if I was better, I would have killed the Reaper, but I didn't, and the Reaper kills me. Reaper might be an answer to Bastion. Definitely in between the moments of... I don't know why I'm using assault mode there, because it doesn't make you go faster at all. In fact, using assault mode here is just brain dead. I should not have used assault mode there. Maybe I thought it would get me out the spawn quicker. It will not. You move slower in assault mode. Yeah, but maybe Reaper is another way of dealing with the Bastion, because the Bastion doesn't have any strength when he's not using assault mode. I mean, assault mode now, I mean, just look at it. It's easy to aim, because it's got a large spread on it. The value is massive off it. There's... I mean, I always go on about this. There's less tanks in Overwatch 2, right? So you are just straight up not having to deal with that extra off tank. I mean, there is no tank that is going to come and harass you. So, I mean, what? like I don't know. Like, I just think that what you need to do with this Bastion is, I don't like. Do I think he's OP? It's really hard to tell if heroes are super OP in the alpha and definitely in the beta, but this felt really strong to me just because I'm terrible compared to these players. Like, I'm not even on the same planet, yet I'm getting value against them. Should that be the case? If this was Valorant or Counter-Strike, I would not even get a kill. I would be dead, right? But because it's Overwatch, there's maybe a bit of, yeah, I can rely on abilities. Yeah, there is a bit of rock, paper, scissors. There is a bit of, oh, you know what, actually, I've picked the right hero to deal with you. So, you know, anyway, my ultimate was terrible there, which is absolute garbage. That grenade was pretty nice there. I managed to kill the Ana, which is awesome. Hawk's caught out of position there and killed, but the rest of his team was dead, so whatever. Everyone's dead, and we managed to actually take control of the point again. Now, going on about balance, going on about whether things need nerf or whatever, we can't tell that for a long time yet. The only worry I've got is that this Bastion is very, very strong against pretty much anything the enemy team have got, unless they're rolling a D.Va. Even if they roll a barrier, so if they roll Reinhardt, well, I mean, Bastion's known for destroying barriers, right? Bastion will destroy the barrier. You don't need a Mercy Pocket, but your damage is massive anyway. I mean, look at this damage here. It's just ridiculous. I mean, that there is absolutely... That shows you how good the pro players are. You see that? They turned that fight in any other level of the game would have just been, I've killed them all with Bastion, but no. They used their ultimates in concert there, and it was super good. I mean, the Reaper, the lifesteal off the Reaper was keeping him alive, although I think he would have died to my fire. But then, because the Transcendence comes through, keeps him alive, they push forward, they win the fight. You know, these are like the little differences. Well, they're not little differences, they're the huge differences in game sense that pro players have got. Anyway, I'll come back to the point, and I just delete them. So it's like, okay, right, they weren't full health. Yeah, okay, there was... My Doomfist was on them, and the Doomfist is Who Are You? Pretty good player. And yeah, I just fire that off to kind of push them away from the choke if they were going to push through that way. But I hope you guys are seeing how effective this Bastion is. Now, again, I don't want to keep going on about this and repeating this about the balance of the hero and the way this hero could work and is he too easy to play and all of that stuff. If they've got a D.Va, it's very hard to play a Bastion. If they don't have a D.Va, you can pretty much play a Bastion. Bastion, he's got answers for everything, right? Super weak when he doesn't have assault mode ready to go. Obviously, you don't want to get close to a Reaper as well, as we've just blatantly seen there. He will kill you. Reaper will destroy you. But if you can keep yourself alive, use your grenade to poke. Use your grenade to move yourself into good positions. On maps like Gibraltar... No, well, maybe not Gibraltar. Yeah, there are points on Gibraltar, but King's Row is a better example. So on the last point of King's Row, you can get onto the high ground with Bastion. You can literally rocket jump off the payload onto the high ground, and people do not expect a Bastion in assault mode to be up there because the damage is massive. You know what I mean? It's like, oh my god, there's a Bastion up there, we're going to die. Now here, they're trying to push over the bridge. They've got the Sombra in the back line. That wasn't a great use of assault mode, but it was a good job that they pushed through them, because I wouldn't have got much value from that, because the Sombra immediately recalled away as soon as I did that. But you go from these phases of just trying to poke. I mean, look at this, trying to take the Zen. Not really doing too much damage to him. It is kind of hard to aim with this weapon because it is pinpoint accurate. It's got no recoil. Doesn't do a lot of damage. You know, I'm really panicking because I really don't want Reaper in my face, and we are seeing Reaper be quite effective against me here. So I'm going to totally put him into the whole bucket of D.Va and Reaper. Very good against Bastion. But I think this is the world that we're going into with this Overwatch, right? It's not... there is more onus on the DPS to do stuff. The DPS are more effective because they're faster, and there's less tanks on the field. This means DPS have got more opportunities to shoot the enemy, more opportunities to, you know, sway the battle, because there's just more space for them to get stuff, to do stuff. But this also means that if you hard counter an enemy hero, and the heroes that you're going to be hard countering are going to either be the tanks or the DPS, you're not really going to see a hard countering support, you know, like, oh, our supports are better than yours. Yeah, okay, you know, you can have better support picks and better support comps depending on what you're playing and all of that. But I'm just talking very simplistically, DPS versus DPS, tank versus tank. If you've got an Orisa playing into a Reinhardt, and the Reinhardt is playing really defensively, Orisa wins all the time, every single time. You know, if you've got Orisa against a D.Va, well, that could be an interesting matchup. If you've got the Bastion against team comps with nothing to deal with him. So this team comp I've got here has only got a Reaper that can really deal with me. So it means around that, I get to just kill everyone, really. Reaper at range, I don't mind that. He's not going to kill me at range. Sombra, obviously, I need to worry about, because if she keeps hacking you, it is kind of annoying. But Sombra's becoming, like, she's more of an annoyance than anything. She is quite... I've seen her be quite OP, but again, it's the caliber of players. Like, if it's an incredibly good Sombra one-trick who's top 500, yeah, okay, they're good with a hero. But me playing Sombra, I don't know, maybe I wasn't that good. Maybe I'm just terrible with Sombra. But this Bastion feels great. Like, it feels really good. And this is the thing with the changes Blizzard have made to these heroes. The reworks, all of them feel good. They feel like their first mission was, right, let's make these heroes fun to play. Bastion was never fun to play. Okay, no, he was in some scenarios where maybe the enemy didn't know you were there and then suddenly you just kill them all. Great, awesome. This Bastion does less damage, but it's at the cost of movement, because he can move more now when he's in assault mode, which was the old sentry mode, and he can, because of that, do more damage because he's in more positions to do more damage. You get to shoot more people. He's just way more fun, like a lot more fun than his old version. This isn't a throw pick anymore. This is a pretty solid pick that's very powerful in a lot of scenarios. The only thing it suffers from is mobility. Clearly doesn't have vertical mobility. Will suffer against the D.Va. I've said about 10,000 times in this video. Will suffer against the Reaper, as we've seen in this video. Apart from that, though, you just want to be focused on doing your damage when you're in assault mode. It's so powerful. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that look at the new Bastion. And yeah, as ever, I'll keep these videos coming. I'll keep the content coming. It's nice to be able to make content again, as I keep saying. But yeah, thank you for watching the video, guys. And I think we can maybe watch this play of the game, then we best get out of there because it will show the UI. But remember, you can follow me on everything, which is @Stylosa on Instagram, Twitter, and on TikTok. It's @StylosaUL. All right, guys, I'll catch you on the next one. Toodaloo. What is this play of the game?